Number 5. The rhino, big body, tiny vision. Kicking off at number 5, we have the rhino, a massive animal with seriously terrible eyesight. All rhino species, whether it's the white rhino or black rhino, have some of the worst vision in the animal kingdom. Their eyes are tiny compared to their massive 2-3-ton bodies, and they're positioned on the sides of their heads, so they can only see sideways, not straight ahead. If you stand more than 10 meters away from a rhino, it'll just see you as a blurry shadow. Imagine if a rhino applied to be a security guard. It'd probably get fired on day one because it can't tell if that's a resident or a thief sneaking in. What's funny is that rhinos often run straight into trees or rocks because they just can't see where they're going. But even with their awful eyesight, rhinos have amazing hearing and a killer sense of smell. They rely on their ears and nose to sense their surroundings. If something moves, they'll perk up their ears to listen, then decide whether to charge or run away. Scientists say rhinos have such bad vision because they live in dense, bushy environments where seeing far isn't that important. Interestingly, despite their terrible eyesight, rhinos are some of the longest living animals in the wild. They can live up to 40 to 50 years. Number 4. The bat, flying blind but hearing it all. At number 4, we've got bats, animals often misunderstood as completely blind. While bats aren't totally blind, their eyesight is pretty awful, especially for insect-eating bats like the little brown bat found in North America. Their tiny eyes can only detect light and darkness. If you shine a flashlight in a bat's face, it might fly away, but if you stand still 5 meters away, it'll just see you as a vague shadow. Picture this. If a bat joined a TV game show to guess pictures, it'd lose in the first round because it can't tell what's on the screen. What's hilarious is that some bats have flown right into the walls of their own caves because their eyesight is so bad. But don't worry, they've got a superpower called echolocation. Bats send out sound waves and listen for the echoes to figure out where things are, kind of like having their own built-in radar. This system is so precise that bats can fly in complete darkness and catch tiny insects mid-flight. Interestingly, some bat species, like fruit bats, actually have better eyesight than insect-eating bats because they need to spot fruit in dim light, which has helped their vision evolve a bit. Number 3. The star-nosed mole, a mole with star power but no vision. Coming in at number 3 is the star-nosed mole, a North American critter with some seriously bad eyesight. This mole's eyes are so tiny, about the size of a sesame seed, that they're practically useless. The star-nosed mole lives in underground burrows and watery environments, so it doesn't rely on its eyes at all. Instead, it uses its bizarre star-shaped nose, which has 100,000 nerve endings, to feel and find food in the dark. Imagine if a star-nosed mole went on a date. It'd probably say, "Sorry, I can't see your face, but my nose tells me you're adorable." Here's the funny part. Scientists once tested a star-nosed mole by placing a worm right in front of it, and it walked right past because it couldn't see a thing. But within seconds, it sniffed with that starry nose and found the worm, eating it in just 0.2 seconds. Super fast. That makes it one of the quickest eaters in the animal kingdom. Even with its terrible eyesight, the star-nosed mole thrives in total darkness thanks to its unique nose. Interestingly, that starry nose is so sensitive it can detect and identify up to 13 objects per second, faster than a human can count. Number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just for show. At number 2, the naked mole rat, eyes just. We have the naked mole rat, a weird-looking animal with some of the worst eyesight ever. Found in East Africa, like in Kenya and Ethiopia, this creature's eyes are so tiny and barely functional because it spends its entire life in underground tunnels. Scientists say its eyes can only sense light and darkness, but can't make out shapes or objects. If you placed a pair of glasses in front of a naked mole rat, it'd probably think, "Glasses? Never heard of them," and just scurry past. What's funny is that some naked mole rats have eyes so small they're practically buried in their skin. But despite their terrible vision, these guys are super smart. They live in colonies like ants, with a queen and workers, and use touch and smell to communicate. Naked mole rats can dig tunnels up to 4 kilometers long in a single colony, which is incredible for an animal that can't see a thing. This helps them find food like plant roots in total darkness. Interestingly, naked mole rats are among the longest living rodents. They can live up to 30 years and are super resistant to low-oxygen environments because they're adapted to life in stuffy tunnels. Number 1. The blind cave fish, seeing nothing, feeling everything. And finally, at number 1, the animal with the absolute worst eyesight in the world, the blind cave fish. These fish, like the Mexican tetra found in dark caves in Mexico, have such bad vision that many of them don't even have eyes. That's right, some blind cavefish are born without eyes, or their eyes are so tiny they don't work at all. They've lived in pitch-black caves for millions of years, so their bodies evolved to not need eyes. Imagine if a blind cave fish enrolled in a swimming school. It'd probably crash into the pool walls every 5 seconds without a coach. What's hilarious is that scientists once tested a blind cave fish by placing food right in front of it, and it just swam in circles like it was dizzy because it couldn't see anything. But this fish is super clever. It uses a special system called the lateral line, which senses water movements around its body to detect obstacles and find food with pinpoint accuracy. This lets it swim around cave rocks without ever crashing, despite being completely blind. Interestingly, some blind cave fish evolved to lose their eyes entirely to save energy. Since eyes are useless in total darkness, having them would just increase the risk of infections from dirty cave water.